Right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to
Whose Voice in Math?
with my guest teacher and daughter, Eleanor Brady. And and I am Mrs. Brady, the math lady. She told me I do need to keep saying that. So there you go. I'm Mrs. Brady, the math lady. So, earlier, before we got on camera, you were using this calculator. This is a calculator that I have, and it's just like the calculator app on your phone. And you were doing something with it, and you were saying what number should I start at, Mom? And I was like, I don't know, pick a number. Go ahead, pick a number. And she's gonna practice some verbal counting and checking herself on the calculator as she does it.
I'm starting at 25.
25, and then what are you gonna do to then practice counting?
Plus 1.
Plus 1 equals what? 25.
26.
Check. Now go ahead and do what you were doing before.
27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43.
Can you pause for a second? So you're at 43. You took at 39. You went, and then you said 40, 41. What were you thinking about when you took that breath? How did you know what came next? What were you thinking about?
Well, I was seeing the 9 and I thought 90 was next.
Aha. How did you correct yourself then? Because you didn't say 90. So you said 39.
I looked at the 3 instead, and then I went 1 up.
Okay, so you looked at the 3 instead.
30,
so,
actually.
right. So what you saw on the let's get your strip out from before. So what she saw on the calculator was 39. And then so at first you were thinking about the 9 and you were going to say 90. And then can you say that one more time, what you were talking about? That you thought about the 3?
When I look at the 30, I thought one more. 10 would be 40.
So you have realized that through doing this and maybe through something else that the next number that you say gets you to the next 10 once you hit 9? Is that what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really cool thing to. So if you're at 30, so the pattern. Can you talk about the pattern that you see in the 30s here for a second?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the 30s. So she has written all of these numbers, and she could keep on going if we. Actually she will, probably, because she loves doing it. She was writing these numbers with the calculator and pressing 1 to check herself to make sure she didn't reverse any of the numbers. And now we can use this as a way to kind of talk about the pattern and think about how it works when you're counting forward or when you're counting back. So can you just talk a little bit about that pattern that you're noticing in the 30s?
I see. Well, once.
Or even any of the numbers.
So at the 30s.
Oh, wait. Can you scooch over? Here, sit on my lap.
Wait.
So
Okay.
people can see, hopefully. Maybe. Maybe you should just do this and explain it that way. All right.
So 30 is here.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And then when you look over here, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So what happens there?
So then once you get to 9, that stands for the next, that stands as the transition point for the next 10.
Ooh, I like that wording, transition point. So you were talking about this. Can you talk more about that first transition point? What happened right there?
9, and then it turns into double digits.
Okay.
Or the next 10 decade, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm. You get into the next decade. Yep. the teens, right? And here you were going from the 30s to the 40s, right? Cool. Now we're at 43. Let's do some -1. Go ahead and hit -1.
Okay.
Okay, so 43, what's the number before 43?
42.
Check.
41. 40. 39. 38. 37. 36. 35. 34. 33. 32. 31. 30. 29. 28. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How'd that feel?
Good. It was fun.
What was fun about it?
I like pressing buttons.
It's kind of fun to press buttons, and it kind of probably feels good to be able to do that all by yourself too. And one thing that you have to be able to do is be able to read those numbers as well. So one of the things that it's important to do.
Looks really weird.
Why does the 25 look really weird?
On the calculator, it looks like the exact same thing except backwards.
What do you mean?
Like, it's so weird. It always confuses me. Like I write it in the air. Like if I want to know if it's a 2 or a 5, I'll write a 2 in the air and see if it goes the right way.
Oh, so you're still thinking about which way the 2 goes and which way the 5 goes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good knowing what you don't know so that you can keep practicing until you don't need to really think about it anymore. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is make a Rec and Rec. So,
yay. I was excited for this.
Right? So a Rec and Rec is a tool that we use at school a lot. This is from themathrack.com, but you can make your own at home. What's important to remember about this when we hold it is that we want the light beads on the right, and that's how I remember how to hold it, light on right. That's thanks to Christina Tondevald. I saw that on the Recovering Traditionalist. Light on right. And in school, we use red and white beads because they're kind of really easy to see. And in the class, we would want, I was thinking about this. In a classroom, we would want kids to have all the same colors so that we could, when I say, like, how many red do you see, how many whites do you see, that sort of thing. So if I push, can you push 8?
Mm-hmm. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's 8.
Okay, so when she pushes 8, she sees over here, and you read it left to right, 5 red beads, which we anchor to, and then the 3 more from that second 5 are here. And then this gives us information here, but we're really going to be focusing on making the bead rack today and pushing the beads in one push. That's what we're going to be focusing on and practicing. But first we have to make the rack. So what I did was I got a piece of cardboard.
This is from our cat scratcher.
I made it 6 by 9. It doesn't have to be exact. In fact, for kindergarten and first grade, you really will only end up with 2 rows, but I went ahead and made more little segments. So what I did was I took a ruler, and meanwhile, Eleanor, why don't you go ahead and start stringing the beads? So what she did was we got some pony beads like this, the kind that ponytail beads. You can use really any kind of beads. If you have an old necklace that you don't like anymore, you could take that apart. You just need light beads and dark beads. So how many do we need?
10.
Right. Let's get a piece of fabric out so they don't go rolling everywhere. We need 10, and we need half to be light and half to be dark. So how many light beads are you going to use if you have 10 beads all together?
5.
5. So put them out on the table first. It's a good idea to have your child put them out ahead of time so that they're sure that they're getting the solid 10 and they can really see it. And I love what you're doing right there. What are you doing right there?
The dice pattern.
You're making the dice pattern 5 with the light color. Can you go ahead and put the other 5 in on this one?
I'm going to use this dark pink color.
Mm-hmm. So she's doing her other 5, and then she's going to string those on there. While she's doing that, I'm going to explain what I did, to set this up. I took a ruler, and I started an inch from the top, and where's my ruler? Here it is. I'll use this one. I started an inch from the top. And this isn't really something, I mean, if your child can help you with it, great, but I did it on my own because I felt like measuring and trying to do all this was, something that a grown-up should do. So anyway, I started from an inch from the top, and then I went 1.5 inches all the way down. And then I did the same thing. I made sure that because you want this to end up parallel across the top because that's where your pipe cleaner is going to go. You could also use an old shoelace. You could use yarn. It doesn't really matter. You just need a string that's kind of tight across so that when the child pushes the beads, it's not frustrating for them and really loose. You kind of really want it to be able to go back and forth easily. So you want to make sure that this is also from an inch from the top. Okay. So then after she does that, before, okay, you take your scissors and you just cut a little slit. And I purposely, when I used the ruler, I made my lines just about maybe 1/4 of an inch down from the top, and that's how big I made my slit. And then Eleanor, I'm going to have you write, so this is the top of the Rec and Rec. Before I put the beads on there, I'm going to have her write start over here in black.
Over there.
So, yep. Can you tell us how to spell start?
START.
Mm-hmm. So she wrote start. You could also just put a smiley face there. It's totally fine as long as you know that that's where the beads start. Then when you put the beads on, you want to make sure that the light beads are will end up underneath the start. And then what I'm doing here is I'm pulling it tight. I want to make sure that I'm not going to rip it. What kids tend to do, well, let me just go ahead and show you the rest first. So I pull it kind of tight so that it's not really bubbling up there. See, it's really tight against the cardboard. And then I keep it tight, and on the back, I twist it so that it'll stay together, like what do you call that? A bread tag?
A zip.
Like a bread tag, or no, a zip tie? Oh, wow, I don't know. What are those things with the wire? Anyway, a garbage bag holder. So now she can use this as a Rec and Rec. All right. So you do a game with it now. We only really need the one rack because I really want her to.
Roll the dice and just
Ooh, that's a great idea. Actually, you could roll the dice. We're going to use the number cards that we have in a deck of cards, just the numbers 1 through 10 to practice for now, till we get used to using the rack and picturing what's on there. So there's a game you can play with this. So
ooh, yay.
Let's get where's our trash bag for the divider here?
It's right there.
Great. Yep, grab that. At school, I used just the end of a box. Nice. All right, so I'll do it first to show everybody how to do it, and then you can do it next. So I have all the beads over at start. I have my deck of cards. Good, 7's on top. Hopefully she didn't hear me. You didn't hear that, did you? Never mind. Okay. Okay.
On top, is that what you said?
Yes. You heard me. Don't look. You're looking. So what I'm going to do, on my card, I have the amount that I'm going to push. I want to find that number bead by really looking at it and thinking, what bead is that one? Your child might need to count them to figure it out. Eventually, they'll just know that that's the nth one. And I'm going to push it over so that this matches this. And you really want to push it over in one push after you've figured out which bead you're going to push over. And then your friend can, then you turn the card over and you show them the rack, and they have to figure out how many beads you pushed over. How many beads did I push over?
You pushed over 9.
How do you know it's 9?
Because there's one left, and 9 plus 1 equals 10.
How else could you know that that's 9 right there?
Well, there's the 5, which I know is all of the purple beads, and then there's the 3.
5 and the...
Oh, 4.
5 and the 4, which makes the 9. Right? All right, now it's your turn. You get to... Now we're going to clear it. She gets the cards. She's going to push over for me, and then I have to read it. Go ahead. She's going to pick a card and push over that many. You ready? And try to push it in one push. So find that bead and push them all over. Ooh, you pushed 2. And I noticed that of that 5, there's 3 over here. 2 plus 3 makes 5. Let me see if I'm right. I was right. All right, let's do it again. I'll always push it over back to the start. Don't, she's...
I'm not peeking. I can't see anything.
All right, how many beads did I push over? How do you know that's 10?
It's all of the beads. There's none left over, unless you took off some beads.
Which I didn't, right?
Yeah.
So it's all of the
Even
beads.
if you did take off the beads, there's the 3 and the 2, and there's the 2 and the 3.
I just want to show what she just did there. So she's showing more of how she knows that that's 10. And actually, if you dig farther, if you put those, that 3 and 3 together, how much is that?
6.
And then if you put the 2 and 2 together, how much is that?
4.
What's 6 and 4?
10.
Mm-hmm. Right. Cool. And then we'll push it back to the start.
I like yours. I like that.
You like what?
I like what you said about the 6 and 4.
Oh, good. Well, that's something that you can be thinking about too on your own and when you play with it. So that's a game for using the Rec and Rec at home. Hope you enjoy that one. Now, what I was hoping we could do is practice counting by tens. I know we already did some counting. It's definitely a good idea to try to count forward within 100 after your child really has a handle of within 10, and then within 20, then within 30. And then once they get really good at counting forward and back within 30, you can move to within 100. And kids are often counting forward within 100 before they're counting back within 100. So you kind of have to think about where your child is on that. Now, and figure it out just by talking to them. If they're thinking a lot, you can always get the number strip out to check to see if to use it as a model for them to check what number they had. Now, I thought we could practice counting by tens. Okay, so we're going to count by tens forward, and then we're going to count by tens backwards. We'll do it together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's keep going. What comes next if we're counting by tens? I wonder if your child just said 101. If they know that that is the next number after 100, that's awesome. But if we're counting by tens, it's going to be 100, 110, 120. Now let's go back down. 120, 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0, right? Sometimes, and I don't know if this is helpful, I will put up my finger and talk about there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. And then if we go back, 120, 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0, right? I think sometimes counting it and keeping track of the tens on your fingers is a nice visual for kids, and sometimes they use that as a visual inside their head when they're counting.
I've never considered when you count by tens. I've never considered one of them. Not 2.
What do you mean?
Sorry, 0, one of them.
0, one of the tens?
Yeah.
Is it one of the tens? Do we have 10 if we have 0?
No.
We have nothing, right? So
it's basically like every number.
What do you mean?
Kind of. Like when you're counting by fives, it will go 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
Sometimes 45, I think it's
50, 55, 67.
Yeah. And you want to go backwards from 75?
Sure.
Okay. 75,
70, 60, 65, 60, 55, 50, 50, 50, 45, 40, 35, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0.
Nice. That's really good. So any of that skip counting is good practice. Kids, in order to know when they're counting by ones even to get to the next 10, need to know their number families and which families kind of come next and which families come before.
When I'm counting back by some numbers, like when I'm counting back by threes, it just feels like I'm saying random numbers.
Are they random though?
No.
No, we're doing equal groups, right? We're equal groups of 10. Okay. Next week, we're going to be working on making some tens with some, at school, we use Popsicle Sticks, and but I was trying to figure out something that you probably have around the house, which are toothpicks. So actually, I think we have enough time to go ahead and do some of this right now. So we're going to take these toothpicks and we're going to make some sets of 10 so that when you're counting by tens at home, you can actually use these to help you do the counting. And that way, when you're counting by tens up and you're counting by tens back, you can... that your child can see what it looks like. And verbal sequences kind of come first, just like the alphabet comes first before children know the name of all the letters, or know what all the letters look like and what all the sounds are. They tend to know the alphabet song before all of that. So it definitely doesn't hurt to go over the verbal sequences, counting by tens, counting by twos, and counting by fives. So I want to take these toothpicks, and what I grabbed were these little rubber bands that you put in your hair. And
a big one.
Right. Go ahead and do... Now, you could have your child count by ones, but what I like to do is have the children think about 10 while they're doing it, and think about the 2 5s that are inside of 10, and show what they're thinking about those 2 5s inside of 10. So go ahead and make some 10s. Let's see. What did you do there?
I got the 2 and the 2 equals 4, and then I put 1 in the middle for 5.
Cool. And then you're going to need another... Wait. That's only 1 5. So you need another 5.
5 and 5. I forgot. They're sticking to my fingers.
So she did a 2 2 with a 1 in the middle for each of those. And now she's taking the little rubber band thing and she's going to make a teeny tiny set of 10. Why not, right?
It's kind of like these.
Kind of like the popsicle sticks, yep. Some kids like to make, and if your child is at home doing this with us, it's really cool to watch kids think about what 10 looks like to them. They may take the 5 and then double it like this.
That's what I did.
Yeah. So they double that 5 pattern. That way they get 2 5s, but they also get 5 2s right there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then they can put it together in a little teeny tiny bundle. Kids like teeny tiny things. I like saying teeny tiny in a teeny tiny voice. When you go ahead, and this is the hard part for kids, so the parents, you're probably going to have to help them with this part. Or be careful of splinters too. I don't know if these will give you splinters, but you only need to twist it around so that it holds it enough, because you actually do want to be able to take these apart later. So you don't want to put it on so tight that it's hard to get off. So I just did it twice. And I'm using round toothpicks because they're less pointy. I do have that other kind of toothpick. Let's see. Those actually should be okay. Just be careful. I don't want anybody getting hurt with toothpicks at home.
That sounded funny.
Well, it's true. I care about my friends at home. All right. I'm getting more toothpicks out. And so basically just watch your child as they make their 2 5s. Some kids, however they make it, and think about 10, right? So Eleanor, you liked earlier on the Rec and Rec, how you pointed out the 2 and the 3.
You mean the 6 and the 4?
Well, first I'm doing the 2 and the 3 and the 2 and the 3 here. Let's see. I'm hopefully going to be getting an Elmo or a document camera, so you'll be able to see what we're doing easier. Elmo? An Elmo is a document camera, not the guy from Sesame Street. Sorry, everybody. There's no Elmo coming here. It's just a document camera. All right. So what I did was I put here what Eleanor was talking about on the Rec and Rec. I have a 2, a 3, a 2, and a 3. And then what we noticed before was if I put that 2 with the 2, I get 4. And if I put the 3 with the 3, I get 6. And then I have a combination of 4 plus 6 right here that I can think about.
I just did 2 and 2 and 3 and 3 for my 2 and my 4.
Oh, 4. So you, instead of doing 2 5s, you did 2 and 2, 3 and 3 for the 6 and 4. Whoa, yeah. Awesome. And there's another teeny tiny bundle.
I can't get out the rubber band.
I think I'm on to something. This might be a lot easier at school. That's the hard part. There'll be a lot of popsicle sticks everywhere maybe, but the good thing is now we have some 10s that we can count by. So we'll go ahead and count by 10s. Let's make a couple more. So little cute baby bundles.
They're so cute.
Flat popsicle sticks also don't roll everywhere. I mean, toothpicks don't roll everywhere. Ooh, I'm going to do 4 and 4. Ooh, there's the 4 plus the 1, which is 5, and another 4 plus the 1, which is 5. Hey, check it out, Eleanor.
Cool. I have 2, 4, 6. And now I'm going to get my 4 more.
8, 10, right? What do you notice when I did it here like this, Eleanor?
I see the 4,
Which is how many?
Which is 8, and then plus 2 equals 10.
Oh, 8 plus 2 equals 10. There's another combination of 10.
Ooh, I'm going to do that one.
So we can really explore 10 as we're making these and talk about what we're noticing.
I'm using a
She's saying what she's thinking. I'm saying what I'm thinking. If siblings are working together, they can talk to each other. You pick the blue one. All right, how many do we have here? Let's see how many 10s we have. I have 4 big, huge popsicle stick bundles here. Still 10 each. And if you do have, these are just plain old craft sticks at home. I did not actually eat all of these popsicles. Kids asked me that once. Did you eat all those popsicles? I was like, no, I can't eat thousands of popsicles. So these are just regular craft sticks. And these are hair ties because they don't break as easily as regular rubber bands, but you can use regular rubber bands. Just don't put them too tight because you want to have it hold the bundle. But you want to, if the child is taking apart, you really want to be careful because I've actually had kids get splinters and it's no fun. But these are really good manipulatives to use at home. So let's go ahead and see. Ooh, you did a lot there.
3, 6, 9 plus 1.
Great. Go ahead and put that in a bundle, and then we're going to count by tens.
Yay! I like giant things too.
I'm trying to figure out how many bundles she made, and
I just got a bunch of pointies.
Yep, that's okay though. She just noticed that she got the round toothpicks instead of flat toothpicks. But like I said, either will work. I'm seeing a 3 plus 3, which is a 1. 3 plus 3, which is 6 plus 1 more, which is 7. So we have 7 sets of 10 here plus 4 sets of 10. And we're going to figure out how much that is. She's making an 8th set of 10, so it's 8 plus
80.
4, or 80 plus how many is here? How many popsicle sticks are here? 40. Yep, and then we're going to count by tens to figure out how much that all is. Can I help you do that a little faster? Because we're running out of time there, baby.
I know how to do it.
I know you know how to do it. Kids like to do things by themselves. My son always said when he was learning how to walk, I do it myself. Not when he was learning how to walk, but pretty much after he learned how to walk, everything he did, I do it myself. Okay, now let's count by tens. Ready? You push them this way, towards me.
This one looks so much bigger?
Don't worry about it. Push them towards me.
10, 20, 30.
Slow
20,
down. 40, yep.
50, 60.
You can go a little fast.
80, 90, 100, 110, 120.
Awesome. Now let's go back. So that was 120.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
120. Now
120, 110, 100.
100.
90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30.
And you can see 30. Yep. Mm-hmm.
20, 10, 0.
Right.
Nothing.
So we just had them in one big long row to practice counting, and that's totally fine. Another way to structure it for your child when they're counting is to have them put it like it's a 10 frame, which we haven't talked too much about 10 frames. I'll do more about that on Monday. 10, can we do this? 20, can you make it look like
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80.
Let's stop there. 80. So how many sticks do we have here altogether, Eleanor?
80.
And how many tens do we have?
8.
Bundles of 10? How many?
8.
8 bundles of 10. How many bundles of 10 do we have on the top?
5.
So how much is that?
50.
And how many?
30.
So what's 50 plus 30?
80.
Nice. I hope I gave you plenty to do.
Oh, and be careful with these rubber bands. When they break, it really hurts.
Oh, definitely be careful with any materials that you use. So I hope you enjoy your weekend, and we will be back on Monday. And yeah,
Bye.
Take care.